Okay, for your virtual assignment this week, you will be doing section 1. The lesson for activity 10 is just the final draft of the paragraph we worked on in class. Make sure that you have a final draft turned in, even if you didn't get it done in class. Then you'll move on to section 2. I've copied and pasted section 2, all the lessons into your interactive notebook for you. Then you will do, so for section 2, you'll do the first activity in lesson 1. You'll look at a map, you'll read and respond and analyze the text. So let's go ahead and click on it to take you to section 2, lesson 1. Okay, so the first lesson is learning more about the historical context of the 1920s. You will click on this link. It will take you to a page of different resources, an overview about prohibition, race relations, the new woman, shows you pictures, some definitions. So read through the 1920s information and then go back and you'll answer these questions about it. 3 major social issues, younger generation, what is prohibition, and then a question about perception. Okay, so you'll get your 5 points just for doing it. And then once we go over some of these things in class, you'll have a chance to revise your paragraph or leave it as is for me to grade it for a writing assessment. So here is your checklist. Make a strong claim. You have resources that you can click on to remind you how to make a claim, but it would be the same way that you did for our first paragraph. Whoops. Okay, so you're making a claim, resource, you want to cite 2 pieces of evidence. You won't actually put a citation after your evidence, like the parentheses, Fitzgerald, page number, close parentheses, because there aren't any authors listed on the resources they gave us. So you'll still need to integrate them into your paragraph for readability, such as in the source, it states, or one of the sources claims blah, 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 with your quote in your quotation marks with a period. You'll need a sentence after each piece of evidence to explain it or connect it back to your claim. Try to use your transitions to improve readability and to create organization in your writing. For example, when you go to give your second source, you would say another example or the second reason why. So give that transition to your next idea. Make sure that you're using your spell check. Check for punctuation errors that might be very obvious. Make sure you have end punctuation, periods, question marks. And then you need a conclusion sentence, and then a reminder not to use first or second person pronouns, and I give you a sheet to help you with that. I have given you an example of a possible claim. Remember that any claim can be right if it can be supported with evidence. So any of the resources can be used. I just made one. So based on the sources, the biggest social issue in the 1920s was the women's movement because it impacted 50% of the population. So I used the sentence frame based on the sources. The biggest social issue in the 1920s was blank because blank. So I filled in my was the with one of the social issues and then gave my reason why. And then I will support how it impacted women as my evidence. So I would have pulled evidence to show how the women's movement impacted women during the 1920s. So that's what you will do for section 1, activity 1. So section 1, lesson 1, activity 2, you don't actually have to do anything. I just need you to look at this map and examine it. It'll come up later and you'll listen to this. You will skip that. So you're only going to do the activities with asterisks next to them. You will read that. You will answer only the bold, so number 2, number 4, and number 5. And then you'll answer number 1 and 2 for here. You'll skip the perception understanding tool. We'll do that together. and then you'll listen to pages 17 through 28 and answer these 3 questions. And then that will be